Well, a very good afternoon from Phuket, and today has been an absolutely stonking day weather-wise. Across the island, absolutely beautiful, really high temperatures, blue skies as you will see in a moment, which sets the scene for Karon's video, which is what we're going to be taking a look at, the area known as Karon today. And of course Karon has a beautiful beach, so it's a perfect day for filming Karon's beach. However, today we're not starting at the beach. Where we're going to start is where I left off on my Cater video, and just behind me is the last point that I filmed on the Cater video, and I said that I would start the Karon's video at that point. So as I said, this road is really the road that joins Cater and Karon together, and we're going to have a wander down this road and take in Karon's beach and then look at all the other parts of Karon as well. Now Karon is quite a big area, so we've got quite a lot to cover today, so I would suggest you go grab yourself a drink, get yourself comfortable, and I'll be right back after this. So at the moment I'm standing outside the Cater Garden Resort, which is just across the road there. It's not currently open. We're going to wander down this road which will take us into the start of Karon. Okay, today I've got Shadow with us. There she is. Nat's with us, and Ploy's finished school early because her teacher has gone for her vaccination. So we've got Cater, literally the edge of Cater here. Some people would say we're still in Cater, when we probably are, because where the actual lines between Cater and Karon are actually drawn, so to speak, it's hard to say. But this, just there, is Karon, and here, I guess you would say, is right on the edge of Cater. So let's now wander down here, take a look at what's open. And I'll be quite honest with you, there isn't a lot open. In fact, I don't think there's anything open along this road, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. You can see there, shop empty, that's gone. Tattoo shop closed, even though tattoo shops can now open. We have the Dino Burger Bar Resort. I'm not quite sure what it's called now, I can't remember. I have done a video on this before. They've got mini golf here, and actually the mini golf is really good. So hopefully this will open at some point in the next few months. I don't think it's going to be open for the 1st of July, I'll be honest with you. It's called the Dino Bar, and it's got mini golf. You can just see the sign there, and the mini golf's really good. I was actually quite surprised when I did the filming of it. If you haven't seen that, go and take a look at it. It's well worth having a look at that, and it's great for families and obviously children and that, but adults can have a lot of fun in there as well. I was quite surprised just how good it was. Across the road, the Buffalo Steakhouse, clearly closed. That's not been open for some time. There was a massage shop next to it, that's gone. I don't know what these shops were. There was a tailor's just a bit further down. As you can see, I don't even think they're there anymore because the signs have been covered up, and one of them has been taken down completely. So I don't think they're there. There's a souvenir shop. It looks like they're selling souvenirs, hats and different things. So that's still there, but that's closed. And then we've got an optician's, that's closed. Restaurant closed. We have a mini mart. I think this is a family mart. Bamboo Mart. Okay, so this is a small independent mini mart. As you can see, that's closed. It looks like it's gone, to be honest. I don't know whether you can, how clear you can see in there, but there's nothing in there apart from the shelving. Then we've got Red Chopsticks, which is closed, and this is connected to the Marina Resort, I think it's called. This is closed. I'm not sure whether the resort is open. I'm going to ask this guy in a sec as we get here. Can you ask him in Thai whether the, I think it's the Marina Resort. Yeah, it's the Marina. Can you ask him whether it's open? Closed. Okay, there you go. So that resort is still closed. Across the road from it, more empty shops. Not just closed businesses, but that's empty. I'm not quite sure about that one right in front of us, but the one next door to it and the one next door to that is closed. That one says open 19th of December. Not sure about that, whether they were talking about last year's 19th of December or whether they're talking this year. Then we have an empty unit, a tailor's, what looks like it was a tailor's, and then 2 more empty units. Here we have another bamboo mart, so maybe they've moved. These actually, they're open. And then we have the Beyond Resort Karon. See, there's a little building. I don't know whether it's actually the Beyond Resort that's having the work done or whether it's another separate business, but the Beyond Resort looks like they're actually open, to be honest, because I can see cars at the front, the doors are open, it looks like there's lights on inside, so I would say they're open. And then of course this is now the start of Karon. So to the left hand side you have the beach, Catervilla. This is one of the few restaurants that has been open all throughout the current position. They've tried to stay open, and full respect for doing that, because it hasn't been easy for them to be able to do that, but they have been open all the time. Apart from the times when the government have made them closed, they've been open all the time. They've also got some rooms for rent as well, and a nice pool. You can actually use the pool. If you go in there and eat at the restaurant, you can actually use the pool for free. Then we have a fashion shop, a tailor's, I guess that's closed. And then all this area is all boarded off, as you can see. I think they're going to knock it down and rebuild something here, not quite sure. They seem to be building, as I mentioned on my last video, building has carried on regardless. And then we have the start of Karon's beach, which we're going to have a look at. One of the great parts about Karon is this area between the road to my right hand side and the beach to the left hand side. You have an area, I guess you can jump in here for shade, or you could come and walk. It's ideal for us for bringing shadow, but it's a great park area. Further down they've got exercise machines, all sorts of things here now. They've actually renewed all the path all the way down as well, running from here all the way down to the island at the bottom, the mini roundabout. So this is a great area now to come and walk along, exercising or just relaxing, chilling out. In the evening times I see a lot of people eating food in this area as well, bringing stuff to the beach. So let's go and have a quick wander onto the beach then, Nat. We'll go down onto the beach, and then we can go and have something to eat, and then we can have a wander around Karon. I'm not going to spend too much time on the beach. It's just basically to let Shadow go and have a run, see this beautiful beach of Karon. I'm sure a lot of people will already know the beach at Karon. A really long stretch of sand. Again, the sea very active again today, wind, but we have had some really nice weather the last 2 days. As you can see, blue sky has been very, very warm today. It is now about 3:30 in the afternoon, just for your reference, so you know what time it is. Shadow there enjoying the beach. She's been very impatient today because she knows on a Tuesday we normally go out. She normally goes down the beach, and I didn't take her this morning because I knew I was coming across to Karon and I wanted to bring her, and she's virtually got it to herself today. A few people in the distance I can see, but not too many. But wow, fantastic. Let's check out the sand. So as you can see, very, very fine sand indeed, Karon's beach. There's no shale on it, shingle or anything like that. It's just sand. Lovely beach. Very strong feature of Karon, the beach area. Okay, well, I'm not going to film us walking all the way down the beach, and in fact I think we're going to jump off the beach in a moment and walk down the centre because it's very hot today and I'm already sweating. I didn't bring a towel either, so we're going to jump in the middle and walk through the trees where it's a little bit more shaded, but I'm not going to record it all. As I say, I'm more concerned about the town than the actual beach areas. If you're coming over in the next 6 months, then you're not going to have any issues with any of the beaches on the island. The beaches are probably the best they've been for a long, long time, so those areas are fine. It's more the town areas that I want to look at in particular. We have had a few announcements since my last video. bars and nighttime entertainment venues are not going to be opening or be allowed to open for the 1st of July. That has been officially announced. As far as I'm aware, alcohol ban in restaurants is still in place, so you're not going to be able to buy any alcohol with your meal. If you're looking at coming over to Phuket in the next 6 months, then it would be a very good idea to think about having some sort of transport, hiring a car, a motorbike, whatever it may be, just so you've got a little bit of mobility and you can get around. Because if you're staying in Karon and Patong, you're going to need transport, because you're not going to have many choices when it comes to restaurants and things to do, because a lot of places are closed and it doesn't look like they're opening up at any sort of pace. It's going to be a while before we see the restaurants and the tourist activities starting to gear up and open up again for tourists. A lot of businesses are going to wait to see, I think, after the 1st of July to see how many people are coming to the island before they start to open up. So again, if you're staying in one area and you haven't got any transport, then your options may be a little bit limited. There are places, of course, where you can hire motorbikes and cars. There are shops that are open, not everywhere, but there are some you're going to be able to find. We've got a few restaurants across the road here. So we're not that far from where we first entered the beach, just down there. And then here we have a restaurant, possibly an Italian, I'm not quite sure, but that looks like it's open. And then we have a few shops next to it, or cafe. That's closed. They're all closed actually. Quite a lot of the shops along this road, the beach road I guess you'd call it, they're closed. Now the distance along this road is quite a way, so rather than walking all the way down here, because the video will go on for about 3 hours I think if I walk everywhere around Karon, because as I mentioned it is actually quite a large area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video and then I'm going to go back to where we've parked, get back onto the Sam Law, or as we call it, Charlie, and make our way to another part, and then I'm going to walk around that part, and it's just going to make it a little bit easier. But first off, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take something to eat at Catervilla. I will film that and I'm going to show the food there, because that restaurant deserves some praise, because as I mentioned earlier, they have actually been open all the time that this situation has been going on, all the time they've been allowed to be open. I should make that clear. Obviously there were a period where no businesses could open, so obviously they were closed during that period, but all the time that they've been allowed to open, they actually have been open, even though they haven't had many customers. So I do feel that that restaurant should be praised, because they're plodding on in very, very difficult circumstances. There's a lot of businesses around here that are not only closed but are no longer here, unfortunately, as you will see further into the video. So I will come back to you once we get back to Catervilla. So we've now just arrived back down to Catervilla, which is right at the bottom of the road, right on the edge of Karon and Kata. But we're going to go in here and take a little bit of food. I have eaten in here one time before and the food was very nice, very good prices. They've got massage by the looks of it, starting from 200 baht, basic facial 400 baht. I'm just gonna see where Nat's gone now, because she's gone inside, and just see whether it's okay. We can come in with Shadow, have a bite to eat, and then after we've had some food we are then going to look around the town of Karon. Okay, Nat's just asked and they've said it's okay. We're going to take Shadow out the back. Nat has mentioned the fact that there's a dog out there already. Should be okay. What? Sorry? Oh, okay. Okay, well, we'll sit down here. We need to find somewhere. I've only got small tables outside. Do you want to grab a table now? Do you want to go up there then? And I'm just going to film the pool area while I'm here. And I'll come back to you in a sec. So as you can see, they've got a really nice pool at the back. It's not massive, but it's nice enough. And if you dine here, then you get free use of the pool. Okay, now I don't know how well this is going to pick this up, because they use these iPads for the menu, so we're going to quickly run through the menu. I'm not going to go through it all. So we've got a grilled beef steak, 159 baht. Also do some specials, a 3-dish curry, I think. So what we've got a Penang curry with prawns, a green curry with pork, massaman curry chicken, steamed rice, 100 baht. So I think you get all three with the rice for 100 baht, so that's really good deal. Grilled chicken, seafood.
You want something first?
Yeah, I don't know even where the drinks menu is. you two having smoothies, are you?
Yeah.
I'll have a mango and chocolate smoothie, please. So it looks like all the smoothies are 39 baht. Pineapple fried rice, healthy noodles, pork, potato, chicken, yellow noodles, potatoes. Okay, so they seem to have menus inside of menus with these. This is one of the reasons why I don't like these iPads for filming, because I can't really show you everything that I've got. Lots of potato dishes there. And then pork, I suppose they've got all the pork dishes inside that, yeah. They do schnitzels, pork steaks, grilled pork, pork chops. Wow, okay. Again, lots and lots of pork dishes, and I guess it'll be the same for the fish, for the chicken, so lots on the menu. Okay, the smoothies have just arrived. Now these are 39 baht. So we have a strawberry one, mango and chocolate, and what did you have, Nat?
Mango blueberry.
The waiters just pointed out that they've got a special on today. We eat pork, so everything here that you see in front of me on the menu, everything's 99 baht. Okay, the food's just starting to arrive now. So my baked potato with chicken and bacon's just arrived. I think there's some more coming out as well at the moment. So that was 79 baht, and then we've got meatballs with mashed potato. Okay, so this is the baked potato with chicken and bacon. And then we have the meatballs with mashed potatoes. Try the potato. Sour cream in it as well. You want to try that? It's nice. Bit of bacon there, trying to get away. Let's try a meatball fry. I won't have it all, just have half of one. Right, good or not? Good. Okay, so we have the calamari, as boys. Salad, there you go, Floyd. Okay. So, calamari, salmon salad. How much was that, Nat? Can you remember? 69 baht. Today, wow, that's good value for 69 baht. I must admit, really good value.
159.
Excellent. Right. Oi, steady with my potato, you. Copy cab, thank you. Pork steak, garlic butter, mashed potatoes, a small salad and some gravy, and that was 99 baht. So again, very good value for 99 baht. Lots of chips. Lemon here, all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. Oh, that's hot. Cup and car. Okay, well we've just finished our, I suppose you call it dinner really. It's about 5:30 now in the afternoon. Very pleasant it was here at Catervilla. The bill came to 575 for everything that we had. The smoothies, I did notice they wasn't made with fresh fruit. They were using fruit syrups rather than fresh fruit, but they were nice. A little bit sweet for me, to be honest. I prefer fresh fruits, but I suppose for 39 baht you can't complain. They were nice enough. My pork steak was very nice. For me, again, they had a little too many sauces. I ordered it with a garlic butter, which it came with, and it was very nice, but they also served it with gravy, and they had a salad dressing as well. So for me, there was too many sauces for the dish. It would have been fine with just the garlic butter or the gravy, not all three. I don't think you really needed all three. And then Nats was 69 baht for the salmon steak, which was quite amazing, to be honest. Ploy had her meatballs and also calamari, which she said was very nice. So all in all, not a bad experience. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump onto Charlie, the Sam Law, and we're going to move further along the beach road, and then I will come back to you once we get to wherever we stop. So I've made my way to where the small roundabout is positioned in Karon, which is just behind me. In a moment we're going to take a walk back along Beach Road so you can have a look at the businesses that are open along this particular road here in Karon before we move further back into the town, the main part of the town. Starting from the bottom, there is a small mini mart which is closed, and then all the businesses up to the kebab shop is closed. Oh, Shadow's come found me. Shadow, come here. Come on, no.
Come here.
Go on. Go on.
Come here.
Go on. Right. Sorry about that. Shadow just decided to come and find me, and we're near to the road, so Nat was a little bit concerned. She's okay now, she's back on the lead. And then next to the kebab shop we have a 7-Eleven, that's open. The premises next door to that is closed, and to be honest, all the way along the road up to where you can see the road starts to bend, everywhere's closed. The waterfront apartments that are just over there, I've just asked the security guard whether they're open, and he's just said they're closed. There is one small cafe on the left hand side that is open, and there's two gentlemen sitting outside having coffee, but that's the only business at this part that is currently open here, unfortunately. So not great at all. So if you're coming to Karon, there's certainly not much choice around the beach. I haven't seen many beach vendors, unlike Cater's beach, but the beach here is just, you can see now the sun is just starting to set. There's a lot of people around the beach, I've noticed, as we've driven down the road and we've parked up, and this area in the centre is just a great place to chill out when it gets a bit too hot. Middle of the day, sort of early afternoon, the sun out here, very, very hot indeed, and this shaded area in the middle between the beach and the road is just a great place to just get in amongst the trees, get a bit of shade. There's a lot of people walking. All this walkway has been renewed all the way down over the last sort of 6 months. I've watched them doing that, because to start with it looked a real mess, but now it looks really nice. They've made a really good job of this walkway, and it's a really nice place now to come and have a stroll along. And as you're going to see, there's people playing volleyball on the beach and all sorts further down, but unfortunately business wise not great. For rent across there, I'm guessing that used to be massage, maybe a spa, but all the businesses here that I can see along Beach Road, with the exception of one or two, they're all closed. There's quite a few that are no longer here. There's the small cafe there where the two gentlemen are sitting outside. That is one of the few places that actually is open along here. The Ramada Hotel, that is closed. You've got the Movenpick, that is closed as far as I know. Most of the big hotels are currently closed here in Karon. We are now currently 3 weeks away from the 1st of July, maybe a little bit less, and there is no real sign of many businesses starting to open. The last video I did on Surin, talking to the guy there, Terry, that had got that business in Surin, he said he'd got no plans to open for the 1st of July, and I think that's going to be echoed through a lot of businesses. They're going to be very reluctant at the moment to open up. We've heard an announcement in the last 2 weeks. It was actually announced on the same day that I did the filming for Surin Beach. It was actually announced during that day while I was out, so I didn't mention it in the Surin video because I didn't know about it until I got home in the evening, that they've now changed the... Originally it was going to be 7 days that you needed to stay on the island of Phuket before you could leave and go outside and visit the rest of Thailand, but now they've changed it to 14 days, and I understand why they've done that. There's a lot of people online that are moaning about it and saying, oh, that's it now for the sandbox of Phuket, it's finished and all that, but those people that are saying that were basically using the Phuket sandbox as an excuse to skip quarantine, and I'm sure the government realised that. And also I had thought that myself. People that come to Phuket wouldn't go through quarantine, wouldn't really spend any money in Phuket, but was just using it to not have to go through the quarantine period, not want to have to spend all the money. And I understand that, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not helping Phuket. And the whole idea of the sandbox project, trial, whatever you want to call it, is to help Phuket and help the businesses here, not help people that want to skip quarantine. The whole fact of the trials is to try and generate money for the island, because the island is really struggling, as I've shown. And this is what, by coming here for 7 days and not spending really much money, just using it as an excuse to not have to do the quarantine period isn't going to help Phuket. So that's been now changed, and they've announced that you need to stay here 14 days before you can travel outside of Phuket, which I think is more realistic, because as I've said, the whole point of the sandbox trial is to help the businesses here in Phuket and not help people skip quarantine. That isn't the point. Obviously, if this trial is successful, then they're going to expand it beyond Phuket. We're going to see places like Samui and other larger resorts, Pattaya, and all these places around Thailand that will adopt the same scheme, and people will be able to then travel to those places. But again, if people are only going to use it as an excuse of getting around quarantine, then it's not going to help the individual areas, and I think that's what the government are trying to do at the moment, until the situation improves where they can drop quarantine altogether throughout the whole of Thailand. People out in force today playing volleyball. So just across there is the shopping precinct plaza. It's called Karon Plaza. Lots of small market stalls inside. There's a part that was inside and a part that was out. All that has now gone. There's not anything open. In fact, most of the area at the back is actually falling down, and it looks like they're starting to demolish it. I'm not sure what's going to go on here, whether they're going to completely demolish the whole area and start again, or maybe the area's been sold and it's going to be developed into something else. I don't know, but you can see there that it's not looking great. So the Karon Plaza, that's gone and finished. Shadows on the wall there. She wants to be by me. Wherever I am, she is. She's never far from me. And then of course we're just now coming into this park area, which is really nice. Not getting annoyed with Shadow there because she don't want to listen. All of these are closed. We've just come past the Hilton and the old Phuket. Both of those are all closed as well. We're not going to go any further down here now. What we're going to do, we're going to make our way further into the town now and take a look at the position there. There are a few businesses open along the main road, but not many. The actual main part of Karon is very much closed down, as you will see in a moment. So we've just arrived at another location here in Karon, and just behind me is the old Phuket resort, which is actually closed. Now you might have noticed my clothing has changed since the shot before. Yesterday when we started the filming, it was very, very hot. We'd got Shadow with us. We'd been out about 2.5 hours, and I could see that Shadow was getting a little bit restless, hot, and she wasn't happy. So I decided to break the filming and come back today, which is Wednesday the 16th. Yesterday we started the filming, and it is about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I'm now going to cover the area, what I would call the main area of Karon. This is the road that starts in Shillong, runs all the way through Karon, and then goes into Patong. It's only 15 to 20 minutes depending on how you're driving along this road, and then you're in Patong. So not too far away if you're staying in Karon to get to Patong. We're going to have a walk along this road and see what's open, bearing in mind this is the main road. So as I've mentioned before on previous videos, the main roads tend to be busier because there's more of a concentration of people. But unfortunately in Karon, a lot of the local people that come here for work have all gone home, leaving this area very quiet indeed. We're just coming up to what used to be a restaurant here on the left hand side that used to be called the Roadhouse. Now people that have visited Karon in the past will probably know of this restaurant. The guy who owns it is named Andy, and I was talking to him a few months ago because I came past and noticed the restaurant was no longer here, and he was telling me that unfortunately he's had to let the business go because the guy who owns the premises was asking for an increase in rent. Andy wasn't willing to pay the increase because obviously there's no customers. So this is what used to be the Roadhouse, but as I say, unfortunately Andy and the owner of the building couldn't come to agreement on the rent, so Andy decided he would have to move on. He is hoping to open a new business at some point. He doesn't know where that's going to be as yet. And unfortunately, this is what we're seeing with a lot of the landlords over here in Phuket. They're not willing to come down on the prices, even though the given circumstances. Myself, I've also moved premises not too long back. We've actually come out of it better than the deal that we had before. We've actually managed to find larger business premises for less money, so it's worked out better for us. But unfortunately, not everybody's going to be in the same position and are going to benefit from having to move their business because of the high rent prices and the landlords not being very flexible. In some cases, the landlords expecting to put the rent up, and this is quite ridiculous really, because how can you be charging more for the premises when the people that are running the businesses in there are actually making a lot less. We've got a massage shop there that is closed, even though massage shops now can open up. Whether the business is still there, I don't know. Just to the left here we have a coffee shop again. Is the business still here? I don't know. The sign's there, but I can't see what's inside. That's closed. There's no restrictions on coffee shops at the moment. They can be open, but there's nobody here to open for. This is half the problem. We have the Karon living room, that's accommodation. I do believe that's open. I can see the doors open there, and there's lights on inside, so they've got rooms there for rent for 4,500 baht a month. Karon's known to be a main tourist area on the island of Phuket. Karon is very popular with families, couples, honeymooners, groups of people. And because of the popularity of Karon, it does command high rent prices, a little bit like Qatar as well. I mean, Qatar isn't cheap when it comes to renting businesses or buying businesses in that area. We have the May House. I'm not quite sure, this is a restaurant and some accommodation. Not quite sure whether they're open. There are some people sitting inside, but it doesn't look like they're open because the shutters are down. Then we've got a small, I think this is called the Elephant. That is closed. That's a restaurant. Nat actually knows the owner. She's actually got a business running in Shillong at the moment, selling burgers, and I think she's doing that from her home, but her restaurant is closed. I guess it's just not worth opening the restaurant because there's nobody here, so they're not going to make any money. We have a Lotus Express. That is open. Money exchange shop. That's closed. Just at the bottom of the road there is the Karon Temple. We're going to walk past that. That is where they used to have the weekly market, but that hasn't been on for a long period of time now. In fact, I can't remember how long ago the last market was on there, and whether they're going to restart, I don't think so at the moment, even though markets are now allowed to all open back up. There's no sign of any markets taking place there. Again, I guess there's just nobody around here for these markets. We've got some small restaurants across the road, a small Thai one there, that is actually open. Business next door, gone. Exchange place, closed. 7-Eleven to the left hand side is open. Of course, the very well known Move and Pick, however you want to say it, that is closed. Now, a subscriber, somebody that watches my channel regular, mentioned that he'd been trying to book a hotel. I forget the name of the hotel, but he kept coming up and saying that the hotel was full, and he was finding it hard to believe that the hotels are all full. And I said, well, if the hotel is coming up as full, basically what it's meaning is that the hotel is closed, because as you can clearly see, there's no full hotels around here at the moment in Karon. Not at all. There's another accommodation there. I don't think they are open, but I'm not sure. The shop at the front is. They're selling a little bit of clothing, a few accessories, flip-flops, stuff for the beach. I can see the shop's open. I'm not sure whether the accommodation is. It might be. I'm not quite sure. But they're definitely not full. So if you're looking online at hotels and they're coming up full, then basically what it is, a lot of the sites, rather than saying the hotels are closed, they're saying full, meaning the same thing basically. We've got an empty unit there. Not quite sure what that is. I think that's a massage shop, but the sign's been covered over, so they're not open. Next door, a small Thai restaurant, closed. We've got a family mart across the road that is open. So there's a couple of family marts. There's actually more here in Karon open than what we saw in Surin. That was very quiet. We've got a business here selling dried products and fruit. That's closed. Massage shop here, quite a large one. This looks like it's gone. It's not just closed, but it's gone. Everything's been packed up inside. It may be just closed, I may be wrong, but to me it looks more like it's finished trading rather than just closed, because everything's been moved and packed away, all the beds and everything. And then across the road from that, more shops and units, all closed up, nothing open along here at all. Now more units along here, there were shops and restaurants along here, they've all gone. None of them are here any longer. They're all closed down. This one is for rent. That's completely empty. The ones next door, all the shutters are down. I don't know whether they're still there, but all the signs have been removed, which indicates that they could be possibly finished trading. Whether they're going to come back, I don't know. Another massage shop here, that's all closed. Now Karon's temple is actually quite a pretty temple, and when things do improve I want to come back and do some filming of that temple. Last time I did the market I didn't get a chance to have a look around the temple because I focused more on the market, but I will at some point film the Karon's temple, because it's only small but it's very pretty inside. So as we come past the front of the temple we're coming to a restaurant, a small restaurant, and they've got rooms for rent as well above. They are open. They're not very busy. I came past earlier, there was nobody in, but there does look like there's somebody sitting in there now, so I've got one customer. Next door to that we have a massage shop which is closed. So you're probably getting the picture now of what Karon's main part of Karon is actually like. There's not much here open at all, not much life, not much sign of things starting to return back to normal, if you can say back to normal. I think it's going to be a very, very long time before we see any normality in any of these areas. So we've got a tour shop to the left hand side, that's closed. There used to be a mini mart across there, but that's gone. And then we've got a latex shop. Is it open? No, that's all, no lights on. Pharmacy next door is open. Units for rent. Looks like that's either closed or gone. That was an Indian restaurant, fine Indian cuisine. That possibly is still there. I can see the tables inside and the board. And then 7-Eleven, that's gone and closed off. We have what used to be one of the sandwich places. I forget the name of the company now. This is gone. Whether they're going to come back, I don't know. Next to that, empty unit. More empty units. Across the road we have a clinic, a medical clinic. There is a couple of motorbikes outside that. Maybe they're open. Then we have a lady which I've shown before on one of my videos. She does the banana fritters and potato fritters, and she's been here a long time. Nat used to come when she first came to the island and used to buy the banana fritters off her, but it's been a long time ago when Nat used to come, over 20 years ago. So that shows you how long she's been here. She's still there. Then next door, restaurant closed, another restaurant closed. Across the road, restaurant, as you can see, cars are parked in there, closed. Massage closed, tattoo closed, tour closed. Another restaurant closed. There's a restaurant here. I think you're starting to see the picture now. So I don't want to have to keep spinning the camera backwards and forwards, because as I mentioned on the Surin one, it'll probably make it giddy if I keep moving it backwards and forwards. But this is the position here, unit after unit. That's empty, that business is gone. Next door, another Japanese restaurant, that's closed. Still tables in there, possibly will come back. Across the road, 3 restaurants in a row, all closed, one of them with all the windows covered over, so that might have gone. There's accommodation block there as well. I don't know whether it's even open. Exchange booths, they're all closed down, and as far as you can see, everything now is closed, apart from a few pharmacists. I think there is one massage shop or 2 massage shops as we're going down this road, that are still open. All the restaurants along here are closed down. Again, are they going to come back? I guess in time they will, but for the 1st of July, no chance. I can't see all this opening up for the 1st of July. No way at all. We have the big Centara Hotel just across the road there, which we're going to have a walk down to that side. That is closed. So a really sorry picture here in Karon. It really is depressing to walk around here. I do really feel bad for the businesses. I'm thankful that our business isn't in this area or in the Cat or any of the main tourist areas, because I think if it had been, we wouldn't have been able to survive. I think we would have gone by now. We're lucky where we are. We're not a tourist based business though, so it wouldn't be beneficial to us to be in this area, to be honest. Says it all really. Long-term rental. There's another massage shop that I'm just walking past, that's closed. We have got one open, I forgot to mention that. On Lee Massage, that is actually open. One of the few you can see there, people inside sitting waiting for customers. Very, very few customers here at the moment. There's nobody about. In fact, I'm the only person walking down the road, if you've noticed. There's nobody else walking about, only me. There's unit after unit just gone. They're no longer here. I would love to see all these businesses spring back on the 1st of July, but it's just not going to happen. We have got a restaurant there. Fair play to them. They're trying to plod on. And then we're coming down to the small roundabout at the bottom. I'm going to take a trip down a couple of these smaller sites so you can see the position down there, because there are some guest houses and smaller restaurants down there. There's even the 2 chefs located down one of these sites. Again, as far as I know, they're closed. We're standing outside what used to be the bar area of Karon. Of course, bars can't open at the moment, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, it looks like bars are not going to be allowed to open for the 1st of July. So none of these premises can open up. These are all shut down. Wow, what a terrible picture. So we have a money shop across there. Value Plus, that's closed. I guess there's just nobody to exchange money for. More restaurants closed. Both sides now, shutters, everything's just closed down. Lemongrass House, actually that does look open. We saw one of those in Surin. That was closed, the one in Surin, but this one here in Karon is open. I don't know how many branches they've got, but they must have a few. They do herbal products, I think, oils and creams and different things for the skin. They're actually open here. That's surprising. It really is surprising. And then I think there's a pharmacist or an optician's that's open along here. But the restaurants, as you can see, they're all shut up. So we're going to make our way all the way down here. I'm just going to go across here and walk down this. There's 2 soys here, so I'm going to walk down the soys, just show you what the situation is down the soys. I believe this one goes down to the Centara Hotel. So we'll have a wander down here. We've got Skipper's restaurant and bar, guest house. They're just down the bottom here. He's open, or he was open when I was down here last time. There's also a guy that's got a guest house down here called Craig. I believe he is open, but he's working on reduced hours. Murphy's Irish Pub, again the pubs, they can't open, so that's closed. We've got the Beach Hotel. Is it open? No, it's closed. So that's all shut up. So where are we going now? We've got a tailor's, that's closed. Place for rent. Massage shop, Todd's Massage, that's closed. Now I believe this is Craig's guest house called the living room, that's right. He's actually open. He hadn't got any accommodation available last time I spoke to him because he was refurbing it all. He was using the time to refurb it, but he's trying to stay open as much as he can. Very difficult when you look where the main road is and then his place is here. Unless you know it's here, you're not going to find it. So very, very difficult for him. We've got another hotel down the bottom that's closed. The big Centaura here in front of us, that's all closed. No sign of these opening up. And then Skipper's bar and guest house is just down there. As far as I know, he's open. I'm not going to walk all the way down there because I've got to walk all the way back. And as I mentioned yesterday, this could be a very lengthy video. Oh, is that massage shop open? We have massage shop there open. I think it's open. The door's open. I'm not quite sure. There is somebody inside, so it's possibly open. I'm going to make my way back up to the main road. Once I get there, I will then move down to the following site and come back to you. Well, it's taken me a little bit longer than I'd planned to get to this site, because as I was coming out of the last site, I actually went back to have a quick word with Craig, the owner of the living room, and I've been speaking to him about things that are happening here in Karon, just to get a little bit more information, because obviously him having a business here, he's in the know a little bit more than me. I don't have a business in this area, and during our conversation there's a few people that have called in who also own businesses here, and they're sort of keeping each other going. He's actually mentioned that the Hilton Hotel in Karon is actually open. I initially said that it was closed because the bottom area of the Hilton that leads to the beach area here in Karon is all fenced off, and I thought it was closed, but he has assured me that the Hilton is actually open. He's also mentioned that the marina that I mentioned, the marina resort earlier in the video, he seems to think that is actually open, even though the security guard told us that it was closed. He's saying it is open, and they are open taking bookings. Craig has also told me that the Centaura Hotel, that's almost opposite to where his business is, are planning on opening on July the 1st. He's saying that he's been talking to some of the staff that are still there, and they do have plans to open on July the 1st. So that's a good sign. Hopefully we're going to see a little bit more life coming back. We're going to take a quick walk down here. There's a few smaller businesses. That one's closed, the massage. We've got units to my right hand side. I don't know whether these are new, but they're for rent. They're all empty at the moment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 units there. They're all empty. So the Bay Inn is closed and the Paradise Inn is open. We've got a massage shop behind me that's open. And then further down, well, I don't need to really say any words, do I? So that's not looking great. Yeah, okay, not so great there. A Thai cuisine restaurant. Now, I seem to remember this one, and it was quite a nice restaurant before the current situation, but it's all closed up at the moment. Papaya Thai cuisine. Don't know whether that's still there or not. I seem to remember that from when I did come down here before. That's quite a nice restaurant, but not looking so great at the moment. There's a small M-Mart, Mini-Mart, I guess, that's closed up. Oh dear. We've got another accommodation that's closed. Yeah, well, as you can see, there's not a lot to say. Massage shop there, that's actually open. They've got a customer in at the moment. It's nice to see. I mean, of course, if the Centaura Hotel does open on the 1st of July, then that's going to help the situation here in Karon, because once the big hotels start to open up and we start to see some tourists coming back to those bigger hotels, it's going to help the smaller businesses, because it's going to generate the package tourist coming out here. We've got the Pen Bar there. Of course, bars at the moment, as I've mentioned many times, they're not allowed to open up, and then this goes basically back round in a loop, so it goes back to the site that we've just walked down, and there is the Centaura at the bottom. that is supposed to be opening up the beginning of next month. I'm now going to make my way back to the main road. I've had quite a long and interesting chat with Craig, and then we've been talking about different businesses and different things in this area, and a lot of people don't realise how difficult it is for foreign people to have businesses over here in Thailand, with the high prices of the rents. Of course, you've got still things. I remember a long time ago when I was looking into businesses, a thing called key money, which is basically a one-off payment that you have to make at the start of your contract each time you start a new contract. To be honest, I thought that had all finished now. It seems that it hasn't finished at all. There's still that going on for businesses around here, that they have to pay the key money. I'm not going to go into too many details on this particular video. I'm going to do a video where we look at businesses and how to go about opening businesses, because a lot of people are under the misconception of how easy it is to do business out over here, and actually it's not at all. It's very difficult, and there's a lot of barriers, a lot of obstacles, and not too many laws to protect the foreigner. So this is something that foreigners seem to have a misconception about business over in Thailand. I want to do a separate video on that, and I don't want to talk too much about the business side of things on this particular video, and I will do that at some point in the future. So we're now back on the main road, and we're just coming down to the mini roundabout at the bottom, as you can see. I'm going to make my way back to where I've parked the bike. Just notice this soi here, very similar position to the other two sois that we've looked at. Again, a lot of bars down here. There is a restaurant that's open down there. Then across the other side of the road, you can see not much life. Mini mart closed, massage shops closed. Yeah, a very sad picture, unfortunately, here in Karon. Karon, one of the places that has been heavily hit by the current situation. There's no two ways about it. This area has been hit extremely hard, and talking to the guys in the living room at Craig's place, they've all said that, you know, they're trying to hang in there, but it's not easy at all for them. And the sooner tourists come back and are allowed to come back without too many restrictions, the sooner their businesses are going to start to recover. Craig is hoping that by October he's going to see some signs of life coming back to the island, and he's saying that his contract on that building is up for renewal, and that if he doesn't see his bank balance improving by October, or the drain on his bank balance, should I say, being eased by October, then he may not renew the lease on the building that he's currently got, and he may let the business go. And I think he said he's been there 7 years, if I remember right. So quite a long time to have a business here in Karon, and then to be in the position where you're now thinking, if I don't start to see some signs of improvement, I'm just going to call it quits, because he's saying that the money that he's got now in his bank is going down and down and down, and it's going to get to the point where he's going to have nothing left, and he doesn't want that to happen. So he's going to have to quit at some point to stop the drain on his bank balance. And I understand that you can't carry on financing something that's not making money for an indefinite period unless you've got an indefinite amount of money, and I'm sure most of the businesses here in Karon are not in that position. The bottom there, you can see some of the smaller vendors selling food, which is about the only part of Karon that I've seen these vendors about. This is down the northern end of the beach now. There's a few vendors there selling food, and we've got some exercise machines down here as well. And then looking from the opposite side of the road to where we've just been standing, there's a couple of businesses open there. There's a place selling drinks, fruit and vegetables, and then I guess accessory shop for the beach, flip-flops, beach balls, things like that they're selling. That's open. There used to be a massage shop along there. Doesn't look like that's open. Now, I'm not going to go to the other side of Karon over there, because I know that those hotels, the Novotel that's situated just around the bends here, that looks closed. They've been having a lot of work done. It may be opening for the 1st of July, but as yet I don't think it's currently open, because I've seen that some of the furniture is still covered with cloths inside. The Best Western that's around there, I think that's also closed as well. Okay, so we've just switched location again, and I'm a little bit further along going towards Kata now, down one of the sois in Karon. But this is one of the sois, smaller sois really in Karon, and I just wanted to show you this last soi before we call it a day on the video. And again, this soi, a lot of places closed. Got a main area in front of me here with, I don't know whether it's separate restaurants or one large restaurant, but that's closed. And then we've got Subway, that's all closed off. Some smaller stalls, bank machines, they're all closed off. And then on this side of the road, just at the bottom there, is the sea. So that's Beach Road down there, if you want to call it Beach Road. And we've got the beach area down there, so not a long distance between the beach and the main road going along this side. And then we have some shops, or what would be shops, but they're closed. We've got a pharmacy, it says open, but I don't think it is. And then Thai herbal products, that's closed. Taylor's closed. And then virtually all the shops are closed. We have the Karon shopping mall, so that might help you for those of you who have been to Karon before to know exactly where I am. And then next to the Karon shopping mall, which is all closed by the way, is the large orchid resort, the Phuket Orchid Resort. That is all closed off and has got fencing all the way across the front, so I know that that's definitely closed. So we're just going to walk a little ways down here just so I can show you this soi. It's a very similar picture to what we've looked at other parts of Karon. So there used to be a massage shop just there. That's no longer there. That's completely empty. Travel agents closed. Not quite sure what the business was in that unit there. That's closed and gone. Another massage shop, and we've got the fish tanks outside, so I presume that's where you put your feet in and the fish have a good nibble on your feet. Whether the business is still there, not quite sure. I can see some massage chairs upstairs, so possibly it's still there, it's just closed. And then this is the start of the Orchid Resort, as you can see. Black fence, and there inside it's all closed off all the way down. I'm not going to go all the way, just going to walk a little ways. You can clearly see that's all fenced off and that's not open, unfortunately. And then restaurant and bar closed. More massage shops closed. And we're just coming up to the entrance of the Phuket Orchid Resort and Spa, which is clearly all closed off. So I think that's where we're going to call it on Karon. I think that's give you a good idea of the position here. I haven't been all the way along the main road. Again, the main road, it's a mixture of being closed and open. As I've said, Karon's been affected quite a lot by the current position. Let's hope the 1st of July is going to see the wheels turning for recovery. Of course, they're going to be slow to start with, but if you are planning out on coming to Karon, at least this gives you an idea of what you can expect here. Not everywhere is closed, and I've been talking to Craig, as I've mentioned, in the living room, and he's saying there are some places open, even down the smaller size, so it's worth having a wander around just to find out what is open. But just bear in mind, if you are coming here and you're going to be stopping for any length of time, it may be wise to factor in some sort of transport, whether you hire a car or a motorbike, as I mentioned, just to give you a bit of mobility so you can get around to other places. Because if you're staying here for a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks or 3-4 weeks, whatever the case may be, you may end up getting very bored in one area and want to go out and explore other places and see what's about. I will be doing a video on Phuket town, because Phuket town is one of the least affected areas on the island of Phuket, and life is pretty, I don't like to use the word normal, because what is normal nowadays, but it is as normal as you're going to find anywhere on the island. Once the nightlife is allowed to open up, then Phuket town is going to be a great place to visit for restaurants and bars and entertainment places, and there's going to be more people there than in areas like this I think Karon is going to be a very slow return of people coming here. Let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope things are going to dramatically pick up in the next, well, we're 2 weeks away from, just over 2 weeks away from the 1st of July. My next video is going to be on Patong, so stay tuned for that, because I'm sure that's going to shock a lot of people. Now, Patong, of course, is a main area on the island of Phuket. Everybody knows Patong, or most people do, and we're going to have a wander around Patong and see the current school there. I have been trying to put the video back to as close to the 1st of July as I could possibly make it, so we're going to have about a week to go to the 1st of July, just so people know exactly what's going to be open, because again, there's not much sign in Patong of places gearing up to open in 2 weeks time, but I may be wrong. Maybe next week I'm going to go over there and find a lot of places open. Who knows? You'll find out at the same time as me, so stay tuned for that. Now, as always, if you haven't checked out my Facebook group, then please do. All the details in the description down below, because there's a lot of information in my Facebook group that isn't on my channel, so that's going to be helpful. Well, as always, that just leaves me to say thanks for watching, and until next time, you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.